Good evening, everyone. Tonight I'm really happy to announce that the anime scripter has reached a new milestone, that being the release of 0.1.0. In this update, I've put a lot of focus on the little things that actually matter once you stack them up. One of the biggest improvements, as you may see now, is the new and improved UI, which is now a lot more simpler and a lot more faster too. It has been separated into two panels, one for settings and one for the principal stuff. As you may see, some of the things are grayed out. That is because they are still in work, and I will have to enable them in the future when I'm sure that it's gonna work regardless of whatever the user chooses. Anyway, comparing it to the older model UI, sorry. This was the older UI. It was a lot more chunkier and a lot more wider, so to say. It was horizontally challenged, as I like to call it. Now it should be much more slicker and much more compact. So it should be much more friendly towards the laptop users or users that do not have that much screen real estate. Another huge improvement is on the chaining process. Basically, the older approach was a step-by-step approach. Basically, what I mean by that, if you wanted to duplicate, upscale, and interpolate, each of those steps required a processing layer, or however you want to name it. Practically, if you wanted to dedupe, upscale, interpolate, each time you would have to decode the video, run the Python file, decode the video, deduplicate it, encode it, and then again decode, upscale, and encode, and then again for interpolation. Now which should add up to about 3 steps, or if you also count for trimming, 4 steps in total. Now it has been lowered to about at most 3 steps, or hopefully 2 steps depending on how you want to use it. Assuming you do not have a trimmed clip, it will be at most 2 steps. But if you also have a trimmed clip, so a cut clip like this, then it's going to be 3 steps in total, which is getting the actual clip that you want to use. So maybe this part, this needs to be cut out of the video. Another step would be deduplicating the frames, and another step would be upscaling and interpolating. Upscaling and interpolating is now being done at all-in-one. So it no longer needs to read the file and encode it all over again. But deduplication is still its own process, which is something that I'm planning to incorporate sooner or later into the all-in-one process, so you do no longer have to decode and encode several times. One other aspect that has improved really the user experience was the fact that it no longer needs to download the models prior to using the script. You download them on the go. In this case, we're going to use the Schaffen-Kuga model, no denoise. I've also set these up. Let's assume I want to use this clip. I want to dedupe, and let's see, do upscale. Start the process. It will start the terminal in any second. It has already downloaded the model and it's running in background. It can take a couple of seconds. It really depends on how long your clip is. In my case, it's a 1912 by 1080, so full HD clip with a 23 FPS, and it's also somewhere around 9 seconds long. Of course, if you're gonna use a 1 second clip, which is in, I don't know, maybe like 10 seconds, 10 frames or whatever, or by tolerated by 720, whatever, you get the point. If it's a shorter clip, lower resolution, it's going to work much faster. Let me demonstrate how interpolation on a really short clip should look like. Let's set it to 4 in this case, and I do not want to use the 4K clip because it's a bit slower. But yeah, as you can see, it has been deduped and everything in between. Let's interpolate by 4 times. And also deduplicate. It has already deduped, and now it's attempting to interpolate it. Working about 34 FPS, and it's done. Well, this frame this case, it didn't have that many frames in total, like actual duplicated frames, but the point still stands. Let's look at the clip. It's 119, 95 FPS, same resolution. Of course, this can be also done on higher resolution clips and different lengths, but it should be now much faster. Yeah, another good aspect, or significant aspect, so to say, has been the improvement on the whole downloading the FFmpeg and logging. Really just the user experience, as I mentioned earlier. Now the file will generate a log.txt, which will store all of the warnings and all of your informations, just in case if you ever run into issues, you will know specifically where to look. Yeah, well, that's about it, really. I'm happy to have reached this point. I'm really happy for the people that have helped me to test this, debug this, and yeah, it's been amazing so far, and I'm planning to improve on it furthermore down the line. Anyway, have a good night.